I was young officer, bubbling with Josh, and I said, okay, let's go and do some kind of counter-terrorism. So I was in some post, and what happened is that there was this incidence of um, one of our vehicles who was coming on checking some road, and it was blown by an ID. It blasted. One of the boys, he got on the radio set and told me, "Sir, I've seen the terrorists running this side, and it was an ID which was blasted by some kind of radio signal. So they're here. The terrorists are here only." So I ordered immediately, like a young, bubbling youngster, okay, send a quick reaction team. Let's see how we can catch those people. And there's one quick reaction team went. Now, those terrorists were smart people. They had blown one of my vehicle, but 200, 300 meters other side, where they knew that the quick reaction team will come from that side, they put one more ID. That was a powerful one. That blasted the second vehicle. It broke me. Hi, everybody. So today I'm going to talk about a wee bit about leadership and what I feel about leadership personally. So I always feel that leadership is all personal basis. There are theoretical facets and all that. I don't, not very important there, and at least I'm not covering those. So how do I, as a leader, get the art of getting people together, disparate people, different ethnic backgrounds, different education levels, and bring them all together into one good and willingly do a task, even sacrifice their own lives. How do we get, how does a leader get all these people together? And I'm being a military man, I'm starting at a military focus. How do we do this? And that, I think, is the crux of leadership. And so the history has shown there are very good leaders, fantastic leaders, they're great leaders. And people say, how do you differentiate between what's a good leader and a great leader? Or are these synonymous terms? So when I say there is something like a good leader, he would inspire his people, give the confidence to his people of his leadership, and the group works as one goal. That's a good leader. A great leader is different. A great leader, he empowers his people, he trains them into one outfit, and the outfit performs the task that the leader wants, even when the leader is not present, especially when the leader is not present. Is that empowerment and the confidence that the people who are led, they get into it, is the epitome of great leadership. That is where I want to focus on. And let me say that there are four major parts to what I think is leadership all about. One is trust. It's the question of faith. It's absolutely important for the people who are led and the leader to have trust in each other. That relationship of trust is actually it's psychological. It's kind of a comfort zone that the people have with the leader and the led. That brings out the best in it. It's the I trust you kind of atmosphere. When I was a younger officer, and we were just deployed in the valley. That time the insurgency just started. It was in 91, 92. And it was a very difficult situation there. And I was young officer, bubbling with Josh, and I said, okay, let's go and do some kind of counter-terrorism. So I was in some post, and what happened is that there was this incidence of one of our vehicles who was coming on checking some road, and it was blown by an ID. It blasted. Now, I knew the boy, one of the boys, he got on the radio set and told me, "Sir, I've seen the terrorists running this side, and it was an ID which was blasted by some kind of radio signal. So they're here. The terrorists are here only." So I ordered immediately, like a young, bubbling youngster, okay, send a quick reaction team. Let's see how we can catch those people. And there's one quick reaction team went. Now, those terrorists were smart people. They had blown one of my vehicle, but 200, 300 meters other side, where they knew that the quick reaction team will come from that side, they put one more ID. That was a powerful one. That blasted the second vehicle. It broke me. It broke me because I said this decision I had taken to move those people. It broke me, and for some time I knew one of these boys who died. I was newlywed, and so was that boy newlywed, and I was feeling so emotionally upset and sad. And then one of my JSOs came to me. He said, "Sir, you worked with us And we were speaking, I'm from Gorkha, so he's speaking Gorkhali. And he said, we trust in you. We have faith in you. You can't break down. You get up and let's go. And let's sort this damn thing out. And we moved. That trust that the JSU and the men showed in me, despite the fact it was my decision that led to the incident happening. And we caught the terrorists by midnight. But the fact is, it's a relationship, the trust that comes out, no, absolutely important. Second is the issue is confidence. There has to be a confidence on the people that you have with your own self. Also communication, interpersonal communication between people, between themselves, that becomes an important facets of relationship. And last is empowerment. You have to empower your own people till the time that people are trained, created into a cohesive unit. That advantage will not come through. So there is what I think is the most important part of the story. Now, how does it happen that Saragadi in 12th of September 1897, 21 people killed 10,000 people of the Afghans who were attacking them. It was the kind of empowerment that they had. Or Razangla, 1962 war, where 114 people of the Kumaon regiment, 13 Kumaon Ahirs, got together and they killed 1,200 Chinese. Everybody died. It's the motivation. Even the company commander, Major Shitan Singh, had died, people kept fighting it out. It's the kind of motivation that comes through in this. That's the kind of empowerment which is very much necessary across into this one. I also want to talk a bit about leadership and management. People say leadership and management are two separate issues, and I think it's a futile argument. I was a corps commander in Ladakh. Was I a leader or a manager? And I think I was a leader. I was also a manager, because to sustain, now there are 50,000 people there, to feed them there where the roads are closed for 6 months a year, it's management of the highest order. You can't imagine the kind of vagaries. You have to keep people warm in their accommodation throughout the year, which means by Bukharis, because electricity is not around so often. So it's the question of management and leadership. I think we get involved into futile arguments which are not so relevant in this one. And we have the best of leadership comes out in difficult times. How? When there's adversity. That becomes the most important issue. The leader actually outshines himself in adversity. What did he become? He can become a micromanager. I can give you an instance here. I was commanding the corps in Ladakh, and there was an altercation on the border with the Chinese, and there was the infighting, and the infighting, fighting between the two parties. And I got a message. I was Lieutenant General. He said, "Okay, there's anything happening here, and the serious situation can escalate to anything." So I said, "Okay, let me fly there. I will take charge." Then as I was going there, the thought struck me, look, there's a commanding officer there, there's a CO there who knows my ideas and how the policies, and do they think he can handle it? Even if things go wrong, what? That, I think, is the issue. That's the biggest folly that comes up, is the issue of micromanagement. Take charge. It's a question of zero error syndrome. The worst part of a leadership is that you don't believe in taking risks, and that implies that there is zero error. You don't want to have a mistake happening here. So that's why you take micromanagement, and that's become the most difficult part. Second is the issue of this laptop and this iPhone syndrome. Every message is being passed across on cell phones, and it is so impersonal. I think this doesn't help out in adversity. It's the personal interaction. When there is pressure on, it's your relationship with that person who is leader or who is led is important. This laptop and this WhatsApp is actually a disadvantage in this matter, because you don't develop interpersonal relationship. Also, leaders trying to get their own magical group of people whom they think the best one. The coteries that they form, these are not conducive to good leadership, especially at times of great follies. And we all suffer from something in corporate sector. Us all suffer from something called fear of evaluation. We are always worried somebody is evaluating us and we're going to get marks or something. This confidential report syndrome doesn't help you. It doesn't help. It actually puts you off into makes you so much of defensive attitude. So I think the best part is the follies. We have to learn from in this manner that there is You learn from your follies. You learn from how to command in adversity. When your lead moves in one synchronized fashion, when there is adversity, that is the matter of success.